Every year, it descends upon us like a cultural tidal wave. The Super Bowl is an event of staggering proportions, commanding the attention of over 100 million people. It dominates conversations, fills our social media feeds, and reshapes the entire weekend for a nation. For many, it's a deeply meaningful ritual of community, competition, and celebration. They feel the soaring highs of a touchdown and the crushing lows of a last-minute fumble. Their emotional state is tied directly to the fate of a team they've followed for years. But what if you feel nothing? What if the roar of the crowd is just noise to you? What if, while everyone else is captivated, you find yourself feeling indifferent, annoyed, or even just bored? You're not broken, and you're certainly not alone. A vast number of people quietly observe this massive cultural phenomenon from the outside, looking in. They wonder why they don't share that same burning passion. Is this just a simple personality quirk? A matter of personal taste? Or could your lack of interest be a sign of a fundamentally different and perhaps more efficient way of thinking? We are going to explore the compelling psychological reasons that suggest it's the latter. Your brain might be intentionally wired to ignore it all. If you've ever felt like the odd one out during a major sports event, I want to validate that feeling right now. It can be alienating to be surrounded by an emotional fervor you simply can't access. People might look at you with confusion, asking how you could possibly not care. This video is your answer to that question, but more importantly, it's an explanation for yourself. Our core thesis today is that your indifference isn't a flaw, it's a feature of your cognitive style. It's a sign that your mind is prioritizing its resources in a very particular, very logical way. We're going to unpack this by looking at three powerful psychological concepts. First, we'll introduce the idea of your attentional budget and how your brain actively works to conserve its most precious resource. Second, we'll explore stimulus filtering as a function of high emotional intelligence. And third, we'll examine the Vicarious Experience Paradox, which explains why watching might never be as fulfilling for you as doing. And while we are using the Super Bowl as our primary example, let me be clear. This psychological framework applies to any massive cultural hype event, whether it's the World Cup, the Eurovision Song Contest, or the finale of a blockbuster TV series. The principles are universal. And stick around, because toward the end, I'm going to give you a simple, intelligent way to explain this to anyone who questions you, turning their confusion into understanding. By the end of this video, you won't just feel understood, you'll feel empowered. So let's start with the first and perhaps most important reason, how your brain manages its energy. There's a concept in cognitive science that we can call attentional budgeting. Imagine your focus, your mental energy, and your emotional capacity are like the battery on your smartphone. Each day you wake up with a full charge, a finite amount of this precious resource. Every task you perform, every decision you make, and every emotion you feel drains that battery. Replying to emails, planning your day, dealing with traffic, all of these are withdrawals from your attentional budget. Engaging with a major sporting event is not a passive activity. It is a significant cognitive and emotional expenditure. You have to learn the players, understand the stakes, follow the complex narratives, and process the constant stream of commentary. Then there's the emotional investment, where you allow your own internal state to be manipulated by the ups and downs of the game. Your nervous system is experiencing the wins and losses as if they were your own. This deliberate choice to expose yourself to an external, unpredictable stressor is what some psychologists might call importing secondhand stress. You are voluntarily taking on the anxiety of a situation over which you have absolutely no control. For a brain that values efficiency and logic, this can seem like a deeply irrational use of resources. Your subconscious mind, acting like a shrewd financial manager, looks at this proposed expenditure and rejects it. It calculates that the return on investment is simply too low. Why would it drain its limited battery on a 3-hour game when that same energy could be used for your own life? That energy could be invested in solving a problem at work, learning a new skill, or being emotionally present with your family. This isn't a lack of passion, it's a reallocation of passion. It's a strategic decision to reserve your cognitive power for the things that have a direct and meaningful impact on your reality. You're not tuning out because you're unable to care. You're tuning out because your brain has deemed other things more worthy of its care. So when you feel that sense of detachment from the hype, what you are really experiencing is your mind's natural self-preservation mechanism at work. It's protecting your most valuable asset, your focus. The feeling isn't apathy. It's a sign of a well-managed mental ecosystem. This is the core of the first principle. It's not apathy, it's attentional budgeting. Your brain instinctively knows that your energy is finite and must be protected from unnecessary drains. When you see a crowd going wild, part of your mind is simply running a cost-benefit analysis. It recognizes the huge emotional cost of joining in that collective frenzy. This process is often completely unconscious, a gut feeling that this just isn't for you. That gut feeling is actually a highly intelligent calculation. It's the understanding that your personal goals and peace of mind are more valuable than a temporary borrowed excitement. You are prioritizing your long-term projects over a short-term spectacle. You are choosing internal stability over external chaos. This isn't about being antisocial or joyless. It's about being selective with your joy and your social energy. Your brain is safeguarding its power for your own game, the one where you are the player on the field. It's an act of profound mental self-care. Does that idea of an attentional budget make sense? It's the feeling that your mental energy is too valuable to spend on things you can't control. But it's not just about mental energy, it's also about emotional stability. This brings us to our second point, stimulus filtering and its connection to emotional intelligence. At its core, mass spectator sport is an exercise in tribalism. It's a deeply ingrained us versus them mentality, which can be a powerful and bonding experience for those inside the group. It provides a sense of identity, belonging, and shared purpose, which are fundamental human needs. However, for a mind that operates on a different frequency, this same dynamic can feel abrasive and illogical. When you observe the intense animosity between two groups of fans whose only real difference is the color of the jersey they're wearing, your brain might tag it as manufactured conflict. You see people getting genuinely angry, stressed, and even hostile over an outcome that has no real-world consequence for them. This is where a high-level cognitive skill comes into play, a process we can call stimulus filtering. This is the brain's ability to assess incoming social and emotional data and discard what is unnecessary or harmful. It's a psychological firewall that protects you from getting swept up in externally generated emotional waves. Highly emotionally intelligent individuals often possess a well-developed capacity for this kind of regulation. They can observe a powerful emotion in a crowd without feeling compelled to absorb it themselves. They maintain a degree of psychological separation, an awareness that their excitement or their anger does not have to become my excitement or my anger. Think about the emotional roller coaster of a die-hard fan during a close game. They experience moments of pure elation, followed by deep anxiety, then rage at a referee's call, and finally either triumph or despair. Their nervous system is on a wild ride for hours. Now contrast that with the non-fans' Sunday. Perhaps they go for a hike, work on a personal project, or go grocery shopping in a blissfully empty store. Their emotional state remains stable, guided by their own actions and choices, not by the performance of 22 strangers on a field. This is where one of our favorite witty dismissals comes from. Super Bowl Sunday is the one day a year you can hear yourself think in public. It highlights a genuine benefit of stepping away from the collective noise. Choosing this calm is not a sign of being boring, it's a sign of a well-regulated nervous system. It is the conscious or subconscious choice to opt out of what is essentially a mass stress induction exercise. You might hear someone ask in frustration, "Why would I import secondhand stress for a game I'm not even playing?" That question gets to the very heart of this principle. It's a rational rejection of voluntary emotional turmoil. People with this mindset often have a strong internal locus of control. They prefer their feelings to be generated from within, based on their own life, challenges, and successes. They are the authors of their own emotional story, not passive audience members in someone else's drama. This ability to filter out social pressure and emotional contagion is a hallmark of psychological maturity. It allows for greater mental clarity and more authentic emotional experiences. So your indifference is not a lack of feeling, it's a high degree of emotional control. You're not aloof, you're just anchored in your own emotional reality. This protects you from the highs, but crucially, it also protects you from the lows. Your mental peace isn't dependent on the final score of a game. This self-possession is a quiet superpower in a world that constantly tries to dictate how you should feel. You're not missing out on the emotion, you're curating it. If this kind of psychological breakdown, which reframes common feelings as cognitive strengths, resonates with you, consider subscribing. We build our content for independent thinkers who want to understand their own minds on a deeper level. This is your community, and we're just getting started exploring these ideas together. This leads us to a more philosophical level of analysis. It's one thing to manage your energy and emotions, but what about the very nature of fulfillment itself? This is where we encounter the paradox of vicarious experience. The phrase bread and circuses is often mentioned in this context, referencing the Roman strategy of distracting the populace with cheap food and grand spectacles. In a modern sense, we can see parallels in our entertainment culture. These events offer a powerful, temporary hit of excitement and belonging, but the feeling is often fleeting and secondhand. Let's update that idea with a modern metaphor. Spectator culture can be like the emotional equivalent of a junk food diet, a quick hit of empty feelings. It's delicious in the moment, but it doesn't provide lasting nourishment. Your mind might be intuitively rejecting this in favor of more substantial emotional nutrition. This comes down to the critical difference between participatory achievement and vicarious achievement. Participatory achievement is the deep, lasting satisfaction you get from accomplishing something yourself. It's the pride of finishing a difficult project, the joy of learning a new language, or the fulfillment of building a strong relationship. These achievements are earned directly through your own effort, skill, and dedication. They build genuine self-esteem and a robust sense of competence. Vicarious achievement, on the other hand, is the borrowed feeling of success you get from identifying with a winning team. It's feeling we won when you, personally, were sitting on your couch. While this can be a fun and valid form of social connection, for some brains it rings hollow. The neural rewards are simply not the same. Research suggests that the dopamine release and sense of accomplishment from direct, personal effort are far more potent and long-lasting. Your brain knows this. Your indifference to the Superbowl might be a sign that you are psychologically wired to seek direct engagement over passive observation. You'd rather be a player in your own life than a spectator in someone else's. That time and energy others spend watching the game could be your time to practice guitar, write a chapter of your novel, or plan a business venture. The satisfaction from making a single chord ring out perfectly after an hour of practice can outweigh the entire Super Bowl experience for you. This isn't an intellectual snobbery, it's a fundamental difference in what triggers your brain's reward system. You are wired for the creator's high, not the consumer's. This explains why many people who don't care about sports are often deeply passionate about their own hobbies, projects, and personal growth. Their life is the arena. Their goals are the scoreboard. They aren't against competition. They just prefer to be the competitor in their own journey. This orientation towards authentic, first-hand experience is a powerful driver of personal development and real-world success. So, when you feel that disconnect, it may be your mind's way of telling you that there are more authentic sources of fulfillment available. It's steering you away from the empty calories of vicarious victory and towards the nourishing meal of personal achievement. Your focus is on your own highlight reel, not someone else's. Now, let's zoom out for a second. All of this is happening inside your head, but where does it fit in the world? A common critique of this topic is that it's incredibly US-centric, and that's a fair point. So let's address that directly and introduce our fourth concept, the global citizen mindset. The Super Bowl is called the World Championship of a sport that, in the grand scheme of things, almost no one outside of one country plays professionally. There are nearly 8 billion people on this planet. The vast, overwhelming majority of them will not be watching this game. They will be working, sleeping, or perhaps watching their own preferred sport, like cricket, or what the rest of the world calls football. From this global perspective, the Super Bowl isn't a planetary event, it's a regional festival. Your feeling of detachment might not be an anti-American sentiment at all. Instead, it can be a sign of a more post-national or global mindset. Your mental landscape might simply be too broad to be consumed by a localized cultural obsession. You may be someone who follows international news, enjoys foreign films, or has friends and colleagues from different cultures. Your in-group isn't defined by a city or nation, but by shared ideas, values, or interests that transcend borders. This perspective naturally diminishes the perceived importance of any single national pastime. When you're thinking about global economic trends or the nuances of international relations, the outcome of a regional football game just doesn't register with the same level of importance. This reframes your position entirely. You are not part of a local minority of non-fans in your country. You are part of a silent global majority for whom this event is, at best, a curious piece of cultural trivia. This applies everywhere. An American who doesn't care about the Super Bowl has the same psychological profile as an Indian who ignores the Cricket World Cup, or a Brazilian who is indifferent to their local football league championships. It's the same pattern of thinking manifesting in different cultural contexts. It's the mindset of someone whose identity is built on a foundation larger than national or regional tribalism. This global viewpoint provides a powerful sense of scale and perspective. It helps you see cultural events for what they are, important to some, but not universally binding. This doesn't mean you're disconnected from your own culture. It simply means you see it as one part of a much larger, more complex, and more interesting world. Your indifference isn't a rejection of community, it's an embrace of a much wider one. You feel less attached to the local tribe because you feel a subtle connection to the global village. This perspective is a natural outcome of living in an interconnected age. It's a sign that your mind is adapting to a world where our biggest challenges and most interesting ideas are shared by all of humanity. It's a sophisticated and modern way of viewing your place in the world. Okay, enough theory. Let's make this practical. You now have a deep psychological understanding of your indifference, but how do you own it? How do you use this insight in your life? First, let's summarize the 3 core benefits of this cognitive style. Think of it as clarity, stability, and authenticity. You gain mental clarity by strategically budgeting your attention. You achieve emotional stability by filtering out manufactured stress and tribal conflict. And you live a life of greater authenticity by seeking direct, participatory achievement over vicarious, passive entertainment. Understanding these benefits is the first step to feeling confident in your perspective. Now, let's tackle the social side. When someone inevitably asks you, why don't you care about the game, or who are you rooting for, you can feel put on the spot. Here are a few simple, intelligent scripts you can use, delivered with a calm, friendly tone. If someone asks why you're not watching, you could say something like, I tend to budget my stress levels pretty carefully, and I'm saving my energy for a project I'm working on. This reframes your choice from one of negativity to one of positive priority. I get my competitive fix from things I'm actually involved in myself. This communicates your preference for participation over observation without judging their choice. This is my one day to get all my errands done in total peace. Each of these responses closes the loop without being confrontational. They are calm, confident, and rooted in the principles we've discussed. The key is to state your position as a deliberate positive choice, not a lack. Finally, and most importantly, consciously reinvest the time and energy you save. On Super Bowl Sunday, when you have a quiet afternoon to yourself, don't just let it drift by. Use that time. Pick up that dusty guitar. Write that first page. Go for that long walk in the quiet park. By consciously using the time for something that aligns with your values, you physically demonstrate the wisdom of your brain's choice. You prove the attentional budgeting theory to yourself in the most tangible way possible, creating a powerful positive feedback loop. This transforms your indifference from a passive state into an active, productive strategy for a more focused and fulfilling life. We started this journey with a question. Is your indifference to the Super Bowl a personal quirk or a sign of a different kind of thinking? We've traveled through the corridors of your mind, from the practicalities of managing your cognitive energy to the philosophy of personal achievement. As we've seen, it's not a quirk. Your brain isn't broken, it's optimized. It's a combination of efficient cognitive budgeting, advanced emotional regulation, a preference for authentic experience, and a broad global perspective. This mindset is a strength, a powerful feature designed for a world that demands focus and clarity. It's an internal operating system that prioritizes your goals, your peace, and your growth above all else. So, the next time the cultural tidal wave of a major event rolls in, you will feel that familiar sense of calm detachment. When everyone around you is swept up in the frenzy, they may turn to ask why you do not care. You now have the psychological answer. You'll know it's not that you can't feel the pull of the crowd. It's that you're anchored to something more solid. You are anchored to your own purpose. Don't ever let anyone make you feel strange for that. Your focus isn't narrow, it's just reserved for things that actually matter in your own life. And that is a profound and intelligent way to live. If you're the kind of person who values understanding your own mind and living deliberately, this channel is your community. Subscribe to keep exploring the psychology behind the life you actually live. We're always thinking about what to tackle next, and we want your input. We're deciding between a video on the psychology of people who love horror movies or the psychology of people who prefer texting over calling. Let us know in the comments which one of those you'd vote for. Thank you for investing your attentional budget with us today. See you in the next one.